Okay, so you've got Photoshop open and you're ready to either start a new document or work on an existing document or file. Let's talk about creating a new file first. So you don't have any picture to work from, you just want a completely blank canvas essentially to start from. You've got a couple different options. You can go over here to the left and click Create New, or you can go up to the top and do File New, and there may be a keyboard shortcut that I don't know. For the Mac it is Command N. So I'm just going to click Create New, and you will get this pop-up box here for New Document, and this will show your recent items. I don't have anything recent in here or new creations that it would save as a recent item, so it's got its default Photoshop size, which as you can see is 7 inches by 5 inches at 300 pixels per inch. Anything you do, you want to make sure you have at least 300 pixels per inch. That has to do with the quality of the image that you're working from, and that's pretty much just a baseline. Anything above that is better quality. So think about if you've ever taken a picture that looks kind of pixelated or grainy. There are not enough pixels, which are visual points of data, within that image for it to be crystal clear. You don't always want a 7 by 5 inch. Sometimes you want a custom size. So we go over here and we can set it to whatever size we want. Let's say we want a 10 by 10. I can set that in, make sure I've got at least 300 pixels per inch. Don't worry about this stuff, and you click Create. As you can see here, it's created that blank canvas for me. It is untitled because it's unsaved right now, so that's a quick way to look at and tell if you've saved your file yet. Before we get into the tools, let's talk about saving your file, because that's going to be really important for you guys. And this is something that's changed from prior years, so this is very important, and I'll explain why. But first, how to do it. You go up to the top menu where it says File, and you've got two options here, Save As or Save a Copy. If you were trying to save your final product, which is either going to be in a JPEG or PNG, so it's just a photo, you would save a copy so that you still have your original workable file. If we're just starting out, as we are right now, I'm going to click Save As, and it may take you to this screen or a screen that looks similar where it says, do you want to save it on your Creative Cloud or on your computer? Adobe has a Creative Cloud, which in theory sounds really great, where you can save all your files, but the issue is, maybe I just don't know how to do this, but I can't find a way to change the file type, which is really important. So I don't I don't totally get that. But all that being said, we're not saving to Creative Cloud. Click on your computer. This is probably the box that pops up for you first. You can click Don't Show Again and save on your computer to minimize time of having to deal with this pop-up, but I like to be able to show students, so I keep mine and click Save on Computer. Alright, before we deal with the title or the format or anything like that, I do want you to go over and look on the left side menu. Yours might look a little bit different than mine. I've changed mine a little bit. But all of you guys at Calvary should have this OneDrive folder. Okay, this is the cloud-based saving folder that comes with the Microsoft account that you have through your school. So that Microsoft email, everything that we've logged into Photoshop with, that is part of your OneDrive. So once you graduate, you need to make sure you save anything from this OneDrive to an external hard drive or like a personal Google Drive. But for now, this is something you can access from any computer as long as you're signed into your Microsoft account. In the past, what I've told you to do is go and save in this Creative Cloud files. So you can see here I have a bunch of different files from over the years working in Photoshop. But recently I've received an email that says they are doing away with the desktop Creative Cloud folder. So if you are from a prior year where we saved in here, make sure you go and back up your stuff, save a copy of everything, or move it to this new location. But for this year, go ahead and click on your OneDrive, and I'm going to highly recommend you start the year off right by staying organized. The way you stay organized is with folders. As we do a number of different projects in this class as well as in other classes, and you save different documents to this OneDrive, it's going to become really messy and hard to find things, especially if you're not titling your documents well, which I don't always do. So what I'm going to recommend is you come down here and it says new folder, and let's make a digital art folder and title it the year. We're 2023 to 2024 this year. Oops, it doesn't like hyphens apparently, so I'm just going to leave it like that with a space. And you can see it automatically took me to that folder, but if I were just going straight into OneDrive, you can see that folder there. I have it sorted by the date modified, so the most recent thing that I modified, you can double click and open here. Okay, so titling. Let's imagine that this is your very first project and I am asking you to, I don't know, let's just call it first day project. I'm going to first create a folder for this project. So everything that I use for this project is going to go in this folder. So you can see here under the digital art, I've got one folder already, first day project. I could have second day project, so on and so forth. Each of the projects is going to have a proper name, and you can use that name of the project from YouTube or Google Classroom to title these folders. It doesn't really matter to me, it matters for you so that you can find your stuff. Okay, so everything from this first day project is where we're going to save these files. Now, the title up here, let's say this is the actual project, whatever you want to name it there. Format, as long as you are still working on your project, you need to have what's called a PSD file. So you can see up here, the file type is always after the period. So this is my project1.psd, Photoshop document. If it doesn't automatically say Photoshop right here or PSD right there, this is where you can change the format. So you can see it's got a bunch of different options. JPEG is what you're probably going to be saving as when you're ready to save as the final copy to turn in. But make sure you have this Photoshop file. Always, please. If you ever don't see JPEG or PNG as an option, I don't know why, but save a copy, this button here, click that, and then it'll take you to a page where you have more options. But again, it's going to be saving a new file, a copy of the file. For now, we're good, so I'm going to click Save. And I will always have this workable file that's changeable, as long as I don't delete that file. If I'm ready to turn it in, I've done my beautiful artwork. It's so lovely. I'm going to go to File, Save a Copy, because I want to maintain a copy of my Photoshop document file. Save on my computer, OneDrive, Digital Art, First Day Project. This is my project one. It doesn't have to say copy, I just don't really care if it does or not. And then I change the format to JPEG. You click Save, and we want the highest quality, so it's on 12, maximum all the way pulled over. Okay, and it saves. Let's say you're ready to close things out or start a new project or just kind of organize your workspace. To give you an idea of how to do that, up here is the tab for this project, see project1.psd. I can close out just that tab with the little X, or I can completely close out Photoshop with the red button up here at the top left. On a PC, it'll be the X on the top right. But if I want to keep this file open and add new files to it, there's a couple options here. See this photo I used in the video earlier? I'm so good. If I drag and drop this on top of this file, it is literally going to create a new layer, which I don't want, unless you do want it. That is something you might do later on. But I want to create a new tab, so I can drag and drop this here on the bar. And you can see now I've got two different tabs. And if I'm using this file in my project 1, make sure you save it in your project 1. First day project. Sorry, I'm getting the words wrong. You guys are going to be working with multiple online photos, and if we haven't already, you will learn about copyright and fair use. But to make things simple, just use copyright-free photos. So if you go to Google or any browser and type into the URL pexels.com, so not pixels, pexels.com, this is a copyright-free site where you can get photos and videos, actually, if you would like, of almost anything. They're free and copyright free, so there are some limitations to this, and there are other sites for copyright free photos. This is just one that I particularly like to use because they've got some pretty good stuff. But whatever you want to search, you can look through thousands of different photos. Let's say I want to use this girl looking out over the city. There are multiple ways to save this. I can click this download button right here, and it's going to save straight to my download folder. You see it popped up here. Or you can click it and do free download and change the size. You can also right click and do save image as and save it directly to that folder that we're working in. So remember, first day project. I could save it here, and now everything's organized in one space. If you don't want to do that, you just want to move the file, like I said, it goes to your downloads whenever you click that download button. So over here I've got my downloads folder on the side. If you can't find it, let me know, but it is right here. Command C on a Mac would copy this file, Command X would cut it from this location, and Command V would paste it. So I'm going to Command X because I don't need it in this particular, I don't need it in this location. And then I'm going to go to my, not that one, my OneDrive, Digital Art, First Day Project. I already got it there, but Command V to paste. Oops, that did not work. Guess you can't cut it on a Mac, you can cut it on a PC. So Command C, do all that over again, and Command V to paste. That's it for now, guys. Make sure you are always using a resolution of at least 300 pixels per inch. If you do have a photo you pull from the internet, you want to check the resolution, you go to image at the top here, image size, and it's going to tell you what the actual dimensions are. If it pulls up in pixels, just change it to inches here. This one's actually a fairly decent size, but the resolution's not great. Try to work with at least 300 pixels per inch. 72 we can typically work with, but avoid it if you can. You can change this number, and what Photoshop does is it enlarges it and it predicts what pixels should be filled where. It's okay. It is not the best. It is always better to work larger and bring things smaller in size rather than have a small photo and bring it up in size, because it just typically does not do the very best job. Always remember to save to your OneDrive, put it in the correct digital art folder, title it correctly so you can find what you're looking for. Other than that, you're ready to get started. Let's make it a great year.